We have been saying for the longest time that it is all about corporate special interests. Corporate special interests will dictate what is and what isn't in the free market, even though there is no free market. This is a monopolized market, and it all adheres to the will of shareholders. And this is exactly what happened with Cracker Barrel. The only reason, and I said this to Jen, I say this to you guys, I say it to everybody, the only reason why Cracker Barrel changed course is because their stock was plummeting. When that happens, change happens. You fuck with their money, and then they'll have no other choice. So here we go.
By the way, is all because of Wall Street. This is all because of the stock market, because of investors, private equity, and the demand to get more value to shareholders. This has nothing to do with wokeness or DEI, you stupid sleeping babies. Okay? I'm going to explain this to you. McDonald's, the way McDonald's is structured is McDonald's owns the land underneath this building. They own.
Right off the bat, that is the key. And as somebody who works in commercial real estate, I can tell you that there is a huge difference between investing in a business that is leased to a property owner, or you actually own the property outright. So McDonald's is a great example. Many of the corporations do this. Not all of them do this. You know, FedEx doesn't do it all the time. CVS doesn't do it all the time. But McDonald's is an example that when they invest in a property for their business, they own the land as well as the business.
Yes.
So they have it all. And one thing that I had mentioned to Jen when we were discussing Cracker Barrel was whether or not McDonald's, as this, and this is what caught my eye, this gentleman here, what is his name, Jen?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I think his last name is Perelman, but I think he spells it with an A.
Well, Perelman, tomato, you know, 6 and 1/2 dozen of the other. Anyway, this Jewish guy who clearly cares a lot about what's going on in our economy.
I don't know that he's Jewish. Will you just let the video play? Can you just let the video play? It's so short.
No, I'm making a point here. If you look at the McDonald's in the left-hand corner, what do you see? You see the old school McDonald's with a play place. When you see the McDonald's on the right, what do you see?
Something clean.
And completely
sterile.
Sterile. That's a good word.
Hence clean. And play places, like I told you, were breeding grounds for disgusting shit. Sorry, but they were. And by the way, when I was a kid, we didn't have those. We survived.
How will we?
Land. They're the biggest landholders in the United States when it comes to commercial properties. The franchisees then rent the building on top of them. And you know what happens? Sometimes McDonald's go out of business. And when McDonald's goes out of business, they want to put a different business in there and they want to sell the land underneath it. Well, guess what? When you have a building that can only be a McDonald's, or can only be a Pizza Hut, or can only be a Cracker Barrel, or only be a Taco Bell, guess what? It's harder to sell those businesses. So every business has slowly been turning into a gray or beige box.
Right.
Because you know what happens when you put a vape store inside of an old Pizza Hut? We all call it, oh, the vape store inside of the old Pizza Hut. Now, in the future, they'll just pull the Pizza Hut sign off and you'll go, I think that might have used to be a Starbucks. I don't remember. I don't know. But all the buildings used to look like this. It's also easier to do upkeep on it. They all have the same dumb awning with these weird little latches attached to them. They don't have to have the special McDonald's only custom ordered roof, or the special Pizza Hut red shingle, or making sure that they have to do this special lighting underneath Cracker Barrel, or whatever was going on with Taco Bell back in the day. They're all buying from the same company. They're all using the same parts. That brings down their cost. They're not building play places anymore. It's not because of wokeness. It's not because, oh, gay people, no. It's because insurance for a play place costs more than just having a fucking McDonald's. Because the purpose of all of these buildings is to just pay off the property taxes while the land underneath it gets more and more expensive. So eventually you can sell it to somebody. Like in the case of Cracker Barrel, maybe the fact that they have land that's connected to the edge of every single highway exit by mid-tier cities all across the United States, maybe that'll be a good play for somebody who wants to put up electric vehicle supercharge stations. Oh,
that's a wishful thought. But
no, it doesn't. But that doesn't help me, because electric vehicles are not the solution to our problems.
Oh, I agree. But I was also
that's a whole other problem.
Yeah. Well, this is, and of course, JG mentions that this is owned by BlackRock. Yes, so BlackRock obviously has a big part in this, as do all private equity giants, because again, the end goal is all about profit. Now, you can argue that retail space, it doesn't really matter. I would beg to differ because it affects the ability for small businesses to succeed. But then you also have to wonder, why is it that so many homes that are constructed today have absolutely no character? They're all cookie cutter. They all look the same. There is nothing unique about them. It's because for the builders, their goal is to maximize profits, to hell with whether or not the customer is satisfied with their property. Have a place to live, fine. But in terms of it having any real character, the best you can hope for if you have some money to spend is you could buy a home in a community that has maybe 3 or 4 different styles of that particular home. They're all the same, but they have a few different shapes, the color schemes, everything. It's all the same. And that is the decimation of what is considered any type of character, which, Jen, you've been to Europe. You know that when you go there, there is a certain appreciation for architecture, for just different structures in society that we do not value here. I mean, I'm not even saying that we don't necessarily value it, but those that make the rules, they don't value it at all.
Yeah, I mean, there's no real care about character. That's one of the reasons I need to get out of South Florida. I am sick of strip malls. I am sick of buildings that look all this. I'm sick of this. Like, I feel like it's just more and more square buildings of concrete and more traffic, and that's all it is. So, yeah, I don't like any of those. See, in fact, all of those things, what they all have in common is they represent the downfall of Western civilization. Continue.
Look how they're all conveniently right here off the highway, and we have robots that can serve everybody $12 hot dogs. I don't know. I'm just spitballing here. But none of this has to do with wokeness, DEI, LGBT, black people, immigrants. None of that shit was caused by this. This was completely caused by Excel spreadsheets and people going, if we do less, we can cash out with more. And that's the American dream, to do fuck all and to cash out with a lot more money. Okay?
Yeah.
So when everybody was letting it get all their little panties in a bunch for it having to do with wokeness, and I was very adamant that no, but yet pearl clutching commenced. So now they're going to keep it, but who's to say that part of the strategy wasn't just to whole shake things up and have people talking about them? Because when was the last time we were all talking about Cracker Barrel?
No, I do. Normally I would agree, but at the end of the day, they have suffered mightily economically. Their stock was I don't want to say it was free falling, but it was definitely hurting. Yeah. And the only language that corporate oligarchs understand is money. That's it.
Well, right. It wasn't an LGBTQ or a black issue. This wasn't a woke thing. It was, they made a calculated error and then revamped it. It's really that simple, based on money.